have you ever been lying in bed at night, ready to hang out with a giraffe on a skateboard in dream world, just for your brain to remind you of some embarrassing moment from like 8 years ago? That's what it's like when I read negative comments, and it's because of something we all have called a negativity bias. It's what makes us recognize the negative easier and also dwell on it longer. We feel the sting of rebuke more powerfully than the joy of praise. We remember the negative commentary easier than the positive. And if you're thinking that these comments make me sad, let me stop you right there. I'm not sad. I'm mainly just annoyed at how loud and wrong people can be. Why are you so worried about a 20-year-old boiler system? Maybe you should do some actual research. You're 100% gonna regret not buying this 33-unit property. And it's just the type of person I am that when I see that, I wanna clap back because it's just so dumb. But then I'm spending my time and my energy clapping back when I rather be responding to the positive comments or answering legitimate questions. But then I think about the dumb ones. And even when they're not dumb, maybe they're just critical and I ask them to explain their position and let's start a dialogue, they rarely ever respond. They just like throwing hate into the wind. So I try to ignore those and answer the legit ones, but then it's like the dumb ones, like my brain is just like, somebody said something stupid. Ah. So rather than getting caught up in that back and forth, I rarely answer comments at all. But I want to change that. So I decided to go undercover in my own comment section to see if it's the dark, horrible place YouTube comments are made out to be, or if it would be some type of utopia full of positivity and great questions. It was also like 3 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so why not? Becoming a YouTuber has revealed a part of human nature to me that I didn't fully realize before, and that's the irresistible urge for people to tell you that you're wrong. That gotcha feeling just seems to make people feel really good. But here's the thing, I didn't make this channel to be right. You should expect that at times I'm gonna be wrong. And that's what I like about my channel, is that I show the rights just as often as I show the wrongs. Like this lovely person Becoming Nirel commented, you don't have to be an expert to share your journey. That said, while I may be wrong sometimes, I'm not stupid. So when I found this guy assuming that I posted a video about an illegal garage conversion to 130,000 people on the internet, I rolled my eyes so hard that I almost got stuck. But the thing is, it does actually contain some good questions that I'm sure you guys would love hearing the answers to. But my main problem with the comment section and with the internet in general is that it empowers people to say things and say them in a way that they would never say to your face. And that's what makes me want to clap back. But I have a solution. Rather than respond to this guy and explain to him all the ways in which he's wrong, I want to get more answers to those of you that appreciate the content and are gonna appreciate the answers. So for good questions like how to legally convert a garage into an extra unit, or how to split utilities between Airbnb guests and tenants, I'm completely changing how I make YouTube shorts. They'll now be direct answers to your comments, and they'll come out multiple times a week. I want you guys to feel like every single short is just as valuable as the long videos, except they get you your answers even quicker. Plus, I'm gonna have my brother start going through the comment section and screenshotting good questions that he can then send to me so I can use for shorts, rather than me scrolling through the comment section myself and getting distracted by telling people off. But for now, it was the middle of the night and the YouTube comment section rabbit hole was really starting to suck me in. Also, I don't know if the glare was distracting you guys, but it was distracting me, so no more glasses. Now, I recently released this video talking about how my 33-unit apartment complex deal fell through. And as I looked through the comment section, I only found 2 negative comments, but of course, those stuck out like a sore thumb. So let's talk about those first and then get to the legit ones. When Tony's wife said that the haters are just mad because I keep it simple and tell you guys the fact, Casey Kreitz said that I'm actually just selling the dream because I tell you guys about things like Deal Machine and Resimply. Hold on. Do you guys know how mad people would be if I kept it a secret what lists I pull, what direct mail I send, what tools run my business? The whole point of this channel is to pull back the curtain and show you guys what it's like trying to build a real estate investing business. Literally the opposite of selling the dream, but showing the work. That's why at the beginning of my journey, I showed you guys how I was doing things for free because I didn't have the money to invest in tools and I wanted to figure out a way to to still get deals done. So I talked about how I found deals on market, how I use a free Google Voice number so that all my leads don't have my cell phone number. But now as I've transitioned, I'm showing you guys how I've reinvested some of those first deals profits into my business to get better deals and to get them quicker and grow faster. So if I ever talk about a product or a service, it's because I actually pay for it and I actually use it. And there's only a few of them. And whenever I can, I try to get those companies to give you guys bonus discounts just for being viewers of my channel. Plus, I don't work for free and neither should you. A lot of time and effort goes into making these videos, and that means I need to be compensated, and so does the team who helps me make them. So yes, I'm going to, 1, get the companies to give you guys a discount, and 2, get them to compensate my team through an affiliate link or a sponsorship so that I can continue making the videos and in exchange for sending them potential customers. So if you want to use the same tools to build your business that I use, you can always find links and discounts in the description. And if you want to use the free things that I use, you can always try that until you start making some money and get ready to invest. It's really up to you. No one's twisting your arm. As I continued scrolling, most of the comments were ridiculously positive, and so I tried to respond to as many of those as I could. Then I remembered that I'm on a fake account, so maybe people would think it was me, maybe they wouldn't. But when I'm not on the undercover account, I'll be sure to drop a heart on as many comments as I can. Also, some of you guys have noticed the time and effort we've been putting into these edits, so shout out to the editing team. As you guys know, you're awesome. Another comment that stood out was this one asking why I don't use already built rehab calculators like the ones available at BiggerPockets. And this is no shade to BP because I love them, but I've got something exciting to show you guys. So as you guys can see, I have a BiggerPockets account that I pay for every year. I like to use it for things like networking and posting article versions of my videos, but the reason that I don't use their rehab calculator is this. We come in, you can make a title, you can put the address of the property, whatever it might be. Let's say you need to replace a roof on a property. How much does it cost? Right? Like, unless you have some prior knowledge that you can put into this, this isn't all that helpful for a beginner. It's a great structure once you know your cost, if you know the total, if you know that you're gonna do it, split the labor cost and the material cost. But if you don't know those things, this is very hard for a beginner to use. And so that's why I created my deal calculator. So again, this is no shade to BiggerPockets. This is just me creating something that, 1, I need, and that I also think is gonna be helpful for my audience. A lot of the content out there is for people who have already completely built a successful business. And so I really just wanna focus on those of us who are just getting started and need like that first step of assistance. So for my basic calculator, what we've built in is that you're gonna put in some basic information about the property, like the square footage, how many floors there are to the property, what level of finish you wanna go with, super low grade rental, super high end flip, maybe somewhere in the middle, how many bathrooms there are. And then as you go through the calculator and answer these questions, it's actually gonna total up pricing for you. So if you need a new roof, it's gonna total it up there. And this is based off of a couple different things, but mainly it's gonna be like the size of the property, the information that you've put up here. If there's any foundation damage, low, medium, high, it'll total that up for you. The level of demolition you might need. Just doing cosmetic or are you doing a full gut? It's gonna continue to do these things for you. If we look at the flooring section, if you need flooring in the bedrooms, you would turn that on and then you would just tell us what type of flooring you need. Carpet, right? It's gonna be cheaper than if you were to put something like hardwood. And you're gonna get a running total. And the idea isn't that this is 100% precise, but it's to give you a better tool to help estimate rehab than to just use something that doesn't have any prices baked in. If you go to a property and just pull up this simple calculator on your phone and enter in the things that are gonna need to be fixed, it's gonna give you a really good ballpark to then compare against what actual contractors are saying or to run some preliminary numbers to see if it's a deal that you wanna pursue. So if the calculator seems interesting to you, definitely hit the link in the description. If beta testing is still open, you'll be able to get in and test it out, or you'll go onto the wait list to get the calculator for 100% free once all the bugs are fixed and we're ready to release it to everyone. Again, link for that in the description. I also just want to say again, thank you guys for all of the support you left on the unboxing video to celebrate the 100,000 subscriber plaque. What do you think of that spot? Right there for it, let me know. But somebody asked why the plaque is so important, and I don't think they were being rude, and they mentioned that they were just curious. And it's really hard to imagine that there's like 100,000, now 130,000 people out there who are like watching these videos. And having something physical, like having the plaque, being able to open it and share it with you guys and show it to you guys, I think it just makes it a little bit more real than just like seeing the number on the computer screen. So again, thank you guys. I truly do appreciate it. And yeah, I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me, both here in the comment section and on Instagram. I wanted to go undercover on multiple videos, but before I left this one, there was one more negative comment that I really want to address. Here's why I think this comment is dumb. Not because boiler systems don't last 100 years. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who spent weeks going through every factor of this deal and considering each one against each other. It's me on the line for that $2.1 million. And this guy only has information from a 20-minute YouTube video and $0 on the line. Yet is 100% confident about how I'm gonna feel. And here's a good lesson that I want all of us to draw from this comment. It's better to miss out on a good deal by being cautious than to buy a bad deal by being reckless. So as you move forward and start buying your own deals, don't let the pressure of other people saying, oh, that's a good deal, you're missing out, blah, 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 blah. It's so easy to make decisions for people when you're talking about their money, but when you've got to make a decision for yourself with your money, everything changes. I also just noticed that this is the same person commenting from earlier. So Casey Kreitz, officially certified hater. Boom, boom. That was the video about how the deal ended, so I figured I would go back to the video about how it started and see if I could find some more good questions there. So this deal was a lead from a direct mail campaign, and I actually have some letters. Let me show you what they look like. Okay, so here's one of the letters. This was a direct mail campaign that I did through Ballpoint Marketing Letters. Shout out to Ryan, he owns Ballpoint Marketing, and I DM'd him and asked him for a special discount for you guys. So if you use the code Lili when ordering some mail, you'll get 10% off. A really good comment on this video was to point out how on larger deals like this, agent commissions typically aren't 6%. I had mentioned that the seller and I, neither one of us had an agent representative, so that saved him 6% on the commission, but it actually seems like it probably saved him about 3 to 4%, which makes complete sense because 6% on $2.1 million would be a lot. So thank you to McAdoo for clarifying that in this comment. I also wanted to check out one of my favorite videos that didn't get many views, so maybe you guys will go watch it after this. I'll link it in the description because I really enjoyed making it.
Just like that. Hi, baby. Hi. How are you today?
I've never done a building that big before, so I feel a little scared.
Well, you gotta take the ifs out of it. Whatever is on your mind or on that paper, you gotta take the ifs out of it.
Devontae had a great question on this one about LLCs and business banking. And to tell you the truth, when I did my first, I think 2 or 3 deals, I didn't have an LLC set up and I didn't have any business bank accounts. Again, not to say that I did it right or I did it wrong. I'm just telling you what I did. I set up my LLC and put together my business bank accounts after I had a deal or 2 under my belt. But regardless of how you choose to do it, I have a warning, and that's do not put a speed bump in your way to give yourself excuse to not move faster and take action. So a lot of people will say, I'll drive for dollars after I get my LLC set up, or I'm waiting to start cold calling until I have my business bank account set up. If you really want to have those things set up before you start, well, give yourself one day to set up your LLC, and on that same day, open your business bank accounts. You can do them all from online pretty much, and you just don't want to use those as a crutch or as an excuse to not actually take action and do the things that are really gonna get you deals. Another great video was this one where I talked about the 4 different types of financing I've used on different deals. So that's HELOC, private money, hard money, and something else I can't remember, but go watch that video next. There were a lot of great comments like this one wondering why this video didn't already have 1 million views, and also this one suggesting a creative way to get 100% funding by using a hard money loan for 80% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab, which is pretty common if you haven't seen my hard money lender video yet. Again, link in the description. But then using a 20% private money loan for that down payment for the property. And yes, this is a creative way that I've heard about some people using to get 100% of the funding that they need to do a deal. But I actually want to warn beginners maybe against this. When you borrow 100% of the money needed, you're on the hook to pay 100% of it back. And so what I did, instead of borrowing the 20% needed for my first hard money loan, is that I wholesaled to get that 20%, which means that I have a safety buffer of money that is mine. And so if I'm burring the deal and I'm gonna use a cash out refinance to pay back all of those loans, which is typically what people do to pay back hard money loans, if I do that appraisal process and that appraisal comes back low, I've got 20% of room where I can still pay back all of my lenders, and then I'll just pay myself back that 20% through rental income over time. It might not be ideal, but I can pay myself back. Versus if I don't pay my investors and lenders back by that deadline, they could take the house from me. I also tried to help clear up for this person that when you're wholesaling, you don't have to worry about getting a hard money loan, because the hard money loan is to purchase the property. When you're wholesaling, you're basically selling your contract for a fee so that someone else can purchase the property. You're never actually buying it, so you don't need a hard money loan, and therefore you don't need the 20% down payment. If all of this is sounding rather risky to you, you might be in the position of this person who's saying they don't like hard money loans, they rather just wholesale. And that's completely fine too. But remember, it's not the hard money loan that you're against, it's the risk of ownership that you're against. And when you look at owning versus wholesaling, there's risks and reward to each. If you want to own the property, you take out a loan to buy it and renovate it, there's risk there, where you could just wholesale it and take a chunk of cash. But if you go with the wholesaling route, you're making active income and not building up any passive income. With wholesaling, you're working, and with owning, you're investing. So it's less about what type of loan you use to invest, or even if you just save up enough to use all of your own money, it's more about your risk tolerance between whether you want to be an owner or whether you want to work a high-paying job, which could be wholesaling. So it's completely up to you. Someone else asked a good question of, do you have to be good at math? And I would say no, you don't have to be like some math genius. There is some math involved, generally simple equations that you just plug and chug and can use a calculator for. But even more so than like, do I have to be good at blank to wholesale? What I want you guys to refocus your mind on is, am I willing to get good at blank to wholesale? There's a lot of different skills that are needed, whether it be math, personality skills, learning to read contracts. There's a lot of different things that you're gonna need to get relatively and maybe really good at. And I just want to encourage you guys to have a growth mindset of, if I'm willing to get good at this thing, I absolutely can. I don't know that all of us could get good enough to like be brain surgeons. I don't think I'm that smart. I don't think I could get that good, but I don't think there's anything in wholesaling that anybody out there couldn't get good enough to do, as long as you have that growth mindset and just ask yourself that question: am I willing to get good enough at in order to wholesale? Here's another person who would likely never walk up to me and speak to me like this in person, but when I say holding costs and closing costs, that means everything other than the actual rehab. So your utilities, your property taxes, your interest and different fees on your loans, all of that is included. I promise, I do not spend hours and hours making these videos to trick you guys. If you watch the video until the end, all the information I could give you is there, unless I forgot or made a mistake. It's 2:37 p.m., but I'm up. Also, shout out to you guys that have really been riding with me, because when I went to look at my COVID video, I was looking for this comment of a guy who said it was fake news because it took me 3 weeks from the time I got sick to post a video. And I was like, bruh, I was sick. I wasn't making videos. I made it after. And I couldn't find his comment, so I think you guys might have bullied him into deleting it. But I appreciate those of you who rock with me and who are real supporters of the channel. I've been answering more quick hitter questions from you guys in the YouTube shorts, like this one about how to check the legal square footage of a property in your county records. If you guys want me to keep answering questions through shorts, definitely watch and like them so I know to keep making them. I'll link to the playlist of the shorts down below, so go check them out.